This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by HostGator. Coming up on our first live Destructoid show of 2012, Star Wars The Old Republic is all sex slaves and dancing. We have not one, but two new XCOM games to look forward to this year, and stinky, smelly old Anthony Carboni is here to tell us about what to expect from CES next week. Get the full story right now, right here on Destructoid Robot Now.
Welcome to Destructoid Live. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Welcome back to our first live show of 2012, Max.
Yeah, it's good to be back. We love the live shows. They're fun, yeah.
I kind of wish I was a little more drunk right now, but
Me too. We need more hard liquor in the studio, honestly.
Maybe during the second half when Anthony Carboni joins us to talk about CES.
We can drink his blood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do that. I bet it's full of alcohol.
Oh, yeah, indeed. What are we saying? Let's do the news.
Yeah, let's just get into news.
Okay, so as we all know, the internet likes to bitch and moan about a lot of stuff. I think we've kind of established that at this point. One of the most successful bitching topics in the last couple of years was over how 2K Games is going to completely and utterly ruin the strategic elements of the XCOM series by turning it into a first-person shooter.
You sound like a gamer.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. We've all seen the XCOM that they first showed off back at E3 in 2010, and for people who think it looks cool, don't worry, that is still a game that is happening and is coming out, but we are also getting another game, too, that will probably satisfy the pissed-off purists. The cover story for this month's Game Informer magazine features XCOM Enemy Unknown, the new turn-based strategy take on the XCOM franchise that kind of returns to the original style. Strategy fans will be happy to hear that it is being developed by Firaxis Games of Civilization and Sid Meier fame. Based on the title, it should be a return to form for the series as a whole. The first game was released way back in 1994 under the name UFO Enemy Unknown. Game Informer's feature allegedly includes plenty of details on how the game will control. We're promised gory details about, destructible environments and real-time strategic views of turn-based combat.
That sounds so exciting.
Yeah, all kinds of things like that. The game's going to attempt to recapture the PC gaming strategy feel, but at the same time making it more accessible for consoles. So there's that. It sounds like they're really trying to please everybody here. I honestly, if people are complaining about this, I will just turn myself into a cyber ghost and go and haunt their computers. In the meantime, though, we have no screenshots, but based on the Game Informer cover art, it looks like the art style of Enemy Unknown is kind of ditching the LA Noire meets Twilight Princess aesthetics of the new the first-person XCOM. And I think both games look very cool in different ways. I like the sort of retro look of the first-person one, but I think it's cool that this one's sort of like, yeah, let's just have aliens and like huge guys with guns. Like, we did this in '94. Fuck it,
Yeah.
We're not imitating anybody. But we're gonna talk about both these games when we have more news on them. In the meantime,
if I was a video game company, I'd probably try to please everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that slowly.
My eye just twitched when I said that. That was weird.
Yeah, as far as XCOM as a series goes, what do you guys think of it? Like, I don't really know. How old are you? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? But tell me, what do you think? Which XCOM game looks cooler in the chat? Let me know.
I like the one with Gambit in it. So moving on, I've got some excellent news. Things appear to be gaining steam for Valve lately, who after all these years are still celebrating the wild success of their digital distribution platform. For the 7th year in a row now, they've managed to more than double Steam sales from the year prior, which is pretty impressive. In 2011 alone, users registered over 14 million games, equivalent to about 780 petabytes of data. Yeah, I said petabyte.
Oh my God.
Far too big a number for my feeble, womanly brain to comprehend. And not only that, but they finally hit that golden 40 million user account, which is nuts. Valve Emperor Gabe Newell promised next year was going to be even better, as Steam plans to add a lot more free-to-play games to their service. And one of those games is likely to be the as-of-yet unannounced secret free-to-play title that Valve's Doug Lombardi mentioned in an interview last June. We don't know anything about that yet. Could be that. Could be Defense of the Ancients 2. Could be both. Could be nothing. Whatever. I don't know. What Steam games do you guys want to see adopt the free-to-play model? Any? Are you guys still playing Team Fortress 2? Do you even like free-to-play? What's your idea of the perfect date?
Do you like freedom?
These answers and more.
If Gabe Newell came to your house, what would you do with him?
What are people saying about XCOM?
I'm trying to see. You took the computer from me. Have either of you ever played an XCOM game?
I'm actually not that familiar with the XCOM series.
I haven't played it. I was like 8 years old in 1994 when that came out. Yeah, it kind of missed me. I played some early RTS stuff. I played the first 2 Warcraft games. I like those. I played like a little bit of Command and Conquer, but as far as like stuff where you have to think about how you're doing stuff, I sort of
I actually like strategy games. I think I would dig it. Yeah.
Probably get into it. Our producer
People are
says it's
into it.
awesome. Let's see. Wow, Gray 3 says fuck a horse in its pussy. All right. Okay. So anyway.
that's my cue?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. As you guys probably know from my mug, as you can see my mug, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I mean, obviously, I have a Boba Fett mug.
I have Star Wars
I'm a
pajama pants,
freaking
Max,
huge
and I've never
nerd.
seen the
I'm a
goddamn movie.
hardcore Star Wars nerd, Tara. Good lord. That being said, I really haven't given the Old Republic much of a chance. But now that it's up and running, people are playing it, and it seems like it's something of a success. Of course, talking about how something is a success is boring, so I figured I'd give you a little update on some quirky news from early this week in an MMO with servers far, far away. God, did I write that joke? I hate myself. Sometime around Wednesday night, players in the Old Republic discovered what is either an exploit in the game or an ancient Force ability, the Dance of Invincibility. Typing the command /getdown, players will start doing a little jig, which is sort of a cute little dance if you ignore the embarrassing fact that at some point, at some convention somewhere, cosplayers will probably attempt it in real life, and that will just make us all worse as the human race. But anyway, while this dance is being done in the game, players became invincible. This was brought to BioWare's attention as being an exploit, and they quickly got to work on a patch to fix it because it makes no sense. Why can you dance and be invincible? That's crazy. And allegedly the patch went live sometime this morning, so no longer is the Dance of Invincibility a thing, but it was fun while it lasted. Now, this gave me a pretty cool idea. Honestly, I think this is a great idea. I think it's solid. It's a rhythm-based MMORPG based on the classic 1984 film Footloose. It's set in that universe, and you play as like a Kevin Bacon-like character, and you have to earn experience by dancing in real life on DDR pads. But in the game, there's a small town, and John Lithgow is trying to keep you from dancing.
I played that once and then never picked it up again.
I would throw that game in the garbage. That's a dumb idea. So in other Old Republic news, the hilariously sensationalist UK tabloid The Daily Mail got word of the fact that players can have slaves, and they decided to run with it. They're of course referring to Vet, the companion Sith warriors will get in their quest. And of course, with Sith warriors being evil and everything, players have the option to abuse Vet, and being a slave, Vet has a shock collar because it's Star Wars and you can electrocute people at whim. And of course, there's the option to punch her because it's a video game and we're always punching women in video games. I don't know. Yeah, whether or not you're into BioWare's games, there is no denying that they make some excellent discussion topics. There's always something going on, whether it is torturing a Twi'lek slave girl. Seriously, aside from Ayla Secura, I feel like Twi'lek girls are pretty much always slaves. Like, just watch Return of the Jedi. Good lord. Or what color FemShep's hair is going to be in Mass Effect 3? Is she going to be a ginger like Tara, or is she going to be blonde? Or the fact that Dragon Age 2 had blowjobs in it. Good lord. BioWare makes some interesting games that make for some even more interesting discussion topics, and it's always fun when that turns into a shitstorm because I love it. Hey Tara, remember our episode we did where we talked about Dragon Age blowjobs?
I sure do.
How many
my job.
How many views do you think that has on our YouTube channel?
Last I checked, it was just short of 2 million.
Yeah.
It's our highest watched episode ever, actually.
You are all YouTube. Do you hear me? You're perverts.
I'm simultaneously impressed and disgusted.
What are the perverts telling us right now?
Well, the top voted
Are they
comment
looking through our
was
clothing?
a picture of ASCII tits with an arrow pointing to it that said Tara's tits.
I love you guys.
So
You're good.
the chat's real good today. You can have this back.
Oh,
Which
good
brings
Lord.
me to my next point, which is that everyone is terrible, and I'm glad you brought that up, Max. According to Ninja Theory, the developer behind the upcoming DMC Devil May Cry, some gamers have become so distraught by the reboot's supposed lack of authenticity that they've sent in actual death threats to the studio. When asked in an interview recently, the team's chief designer said, quote, Alex Garland warned me about it because he's experienced a similar thing with 28 Days Later, where people were upset that it didn't feature real zombies. So I was half prepared for it, although I have to say that it has been pretty eye-opening to see some of the creative ways in which people have chosen to vent their hatred. We didn't expect death threats in comic book form or anti-DMC death metal songs. You know, Max, I can't help but feel a little jealous that we haven't gotten any death
You're gonna
threats
get all misty
on
on
the
me?
show. You changed your hair last week, and the worst thing that somebody said to you was that you looked like a douche, which I tell you every day.
I kind of do look like a douche.
Yeah. Also, death metal, worst punishment ever. I cannot think of one worse than having to listen to death metal, so good job on that, sir. As for the rest of you, if you find yourself seriously distraught over a fictional character's haircut, please do us a favor and let us know in the chat so that we can ban you.
Yeah, get fucked.
And also go knife yourself.
God, we're like the most like thug video game show.
I'm
we're
a
like
huge
threatening
bitch,
people.
and this is beer in this cup.
People
for
get mad.
who
Yeah,
are
we're
asking.
drinking right now.
I know, we're so
Daily
edgy.
Fix.
We're so edgy, Max.
Come at me, bro, Machinima. Anyway, here's a short little piece of news. It's fun. I like it. I feel like we've had some kind of racy topics today. We should kind of scale it back and take something nice
sure.
and nice and low key. But earlier today, we learned that this is what the print ad for Soul Calibur 5 looks like. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I think it's safe to say that as far as advertising goes, this works because I'm gonna fucking buy that game. I'm gonna buy that game because I want to play a game about giant, ridiculous tits just hypnotizing me.
You disgust me, Max, and you
Hypnotits.
Namco Bandai.
Yeah.
I expected better from you.
That's the news story there, really. That they stop. God damn it! Stop
Show
it.
some class, guys.
Anyway, so our pals John Carnage and Wesley Rusher, who do Mash Tactics on Destructoid's Twitch TV channel, have landed some early playtime with this fantastic new boob simulator. So if you guys want to get an early look at Soul Calibur 5, mark your calendars. That is happening this Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/Destructoid. Man, I'm worked
Exhausted
up.
from all that talking.
I'm sweating in my places.
Talking about video
Why don't you take a word from our sponsor? When we get back, we've got stinky old Anthony Carboni to come on and talk about the Consumer Electronics Show that's happening next week.
Let's do that. HostGator can get your blog or website up and running in just minutes with plans starting at only $3.96 a month. You get 24/7 support and access to website building tools with over 4,000 templates, and they'll even migrate your current site for free if you've got one. HostGator servers are 130% powered by wind energy, not to mention they offer unlimited disk space and bandwidth, a 45-day money-back guarantee, and a $100 Google AdWords credit to market your site. And for you saucy Revision 3 viewers, they've generously offered 25% off your order or your first month free. Just go to www.hostgator.com and enter the code DESTRUCTOID at checkout. So we are back. And joining us is Anthony Carboni, the office hobo / host of New Challenger.
I never get any advance warning when you guys want me on the show. I wind up never showering.
We do that on purpose, Anthony, to make ourselves look better.
I shower like one day a week, so really the odds are against me,
I buy
not
canned
them.
filth and rub it in my head after washing it every day. It's dumb.
So you're here to talk about CES.
Yeah.
What is CES?
CES is really a feeling more than anything else.
It's like a place inside your heart, right?
A place inside your heart where all the electronics companies go to Las Vegas and build giant booths and show you all of their new things.
That's
and normally it's not a very big thing for gaming because it's not a gaming focused show, but gaming companies are showing off more and more of their stuff every year. So here are some things that we know we're going to see at CES. First of all, we know we're going to see the PS Vita.
Right.
It's already been released in
course.
Japan, but this is still a month before its US release, so while everybody who follows the gaming press has probably had their fill of this, the consumer electronics press hasn't gotten their hands on it yet, hasn't really had time with it, hasn't formed their opinion on it yet. So they'll be showing off a lot of US titles and hardware there. Razer, the gaming PC company, is showing off something called Project Fiona. And a lot of people are thinking, sounds pretty, right?
It does. Sounds sensual.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
That's the name of my fragrance that I'm releasing next year.
Sensual?
Fiona.
Oh, Fiona.
By Anthony Carboni. So last year, Razer unveiled the Switchblade at CES to lots of praise and then did nothing with it.
Yeah.
Well, they did something with it. They've got that 17-inch Blade laptop that's slated for later this year that's supposed to, which I guess at this point it's just vaporware stacked on vaporware because the Blade is supposed to have bits of the Switchblade built into it. So, but this is supposed to be something new. This is what they're calling a PC gaming on an all-new form factor. So the safe bet is a lot of people are saying that they are reviving the Switchblade. And we will find out on the 10th when they have their event.
What really is the difference between that and a regular laptop aside from the custom button mapping?
So the Switchblade, are you talking, well, the Blade just has the custom button mapping. The Switchblade is like a palm top
Right, it's the
PC.
the tiny one.
Yeah, so that's kind of like handheld with all your macros built into little LED keys and stuff like that.
So they're still
I'm hoping
planning
it
on
comes.
releasing that alongside the full-size laptop?
That's what everybody's thinking, but we don't know yet. I'm hoping so, because I'd love to see something like that get released, if for nothing than just the weird factor of it.
Yeah.
I have no idea how something like that would do. I don't play a lot of games on PC. If there are a lot of PC gamers out there, I would love to know if that's something you guys are super interested in.
It sounds kind of cool, actually. I don't play enough like PC games or MMOs really.
I thought the Switchblade, when they first showed it off at CES last year, I thought it was like the coolest thing, not necessarily practical at all, but I thought it was like the coolest thing, and I was like, oh my god, I could be like Batman Beyond and carry that around with me. And then at E3 they showed off the Blade, and I was like, that's a computer. Everyone I know has one of those.
How large were that spokesmodel's hands? It seemed so much smaller at first.
You could literally buy 4 PS3s and 4 flat screen TVs. And like a good router
and a Twilight slave girl for the amount of money.
Yeah.
Things we might see at CES: the Wii U. Nintendo's not normally at CES, but with their huge console releasing later this year, they're going to have a presence. It's the same thing as the Vita. Gaming press has seen this thing, but the general electronics press hasn't had their time yet. Right now, the consensus is that they will be showing off the Wii U behind closed doors, which potentially will be the same demos that people saw at E3. They said they won't show off final hardware until the next E3, so I'm not expecting tons of huge events, but there might be a few little tidbits that we didn't know before.
Do you think we're gonna see anything related at all to possibly a new Xbox or PlayStation console?
I don't think so. Even though the rumors are building up now, CES is not the place where a company like a Microsoft or a Sony wants to announce that.
Yeah.
They want to wait for E3.
Oh yeah.
And especially with Sony releasing the Vita, to release 2 expensive consoles at once is just asking a lot from consumers.
I don't even think they'll be showing off the new PlayStation at this year's E3. I don't think it'll
I think
be
it's
ready.
farther off than that.
The new Xbox maybe. It's hard to tell. I think that one might be headed for a slightly sooner
I could use a new
release,
Xbox. I've Red Ring 2 already.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, is there anything else that you expect on seeing there or don't expect on seeing?
Hoverboards. I make this prediction every year. Hoverboards.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a nice, not necessarily a PlayStation phone, but like a phone that maybe is running an Android thing, and it maybe has like sort of not really dual analog sticks, but it can kind of run old PlayStation 1 games on it.
I have no disparaging comment about the Xperia Play. Thank you.
Have there been any? Does anybody have any questions about CES for Anthony?
You guys they're mostly talking about, let's see, get Anthony Carboni on Podtoid. Nothing is going to get announced at CES. Thank you, Feedback 1997.
Nothing.
I'm
He's
sure
probably pretty right.
Hellion Wolf
Not even
says,
electronics.
Wii U looks
Pack
like
it
an
up this
expensive
year.
thing to put drinks on. Well, technically, everything that
Anything
has a
expensive
surface
with
on
a
it
flat
that costs
surface.
money is an expensive thing to put drinks on.
Technically, this desk is an expensive thing to put
That's
drinks
true.
on.
I crafted
let's
this with my
see,
bare hands. I don't know if you know that.
Wow.
you really?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's good.
This is terrible. Max, can you hear me? It's the ghost of internet past. Okay, you guys don't have anything.
All right,
constructive to say.
okay, that's enough about CES then. A couple of the Destructoid editors, primarily Dale and Conrad, I believe, will be in attendance at this year's CES. Max and I won't be there, of course, because of reasons like that. But if you want to catch up on everything that's happening at this year's CES, which you should, be sure to keep your eyes on revision3.com/CES and youtube.com/rev3tech. They're going to have all the shows and stuff. All of Rev3's top tech shows, really, will be collated there. You'll be able to watch Techzilla and the Sony show that you host, right?
Signal.
At Judgment, Soldier Knows Best, all these great shows. And they're going to be churning out videos all week long while we're here, like kicking back with some Four Locos.
Must be
We're gonna play hide and
nice.
seek in the
Yeah.
office.
Anthony obviously won't be there to join us for that, so I'll be drinking for 2. As always,
Assuming
you-
we give you the alarm code and
Speaking
let you in
of
without adult
vices,
supervision.
I got a good question.
I know the key.
What are our New Year's resolutions?
I can't reveal mine yet because I'm going to use it for a segment later on.
I want to get up earlier in the morning. I'm a late riser. That's my big
Really?
one.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed when you come in at 11:30 every day.
I stay late.
Thanks for coming, Anthony. Thanks for watching.
I showed
us.
up 15 minutes before this show started.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrific. You guys can catch Anthony on his show, New Challenger. That is on Revision 3 at revision3.com.
Which we shoot at 11 p.m.
Challenger. Yes.
Since I can't get here in the morning.
That's why the studio's so dark. So go watch his show. It's also on YouTube at youtube.com/newchallenger. You can also find him on Twitter at @Carboni, where he torments me on a near daily basis.
It's like this, but digitally.
It's exactly like that. Max is also pretty mean. He's
Keep
on there
reading.
at Max Scoville.
Keep
I'm
reading.
Tara Longest. That is my Twitter handle. I just surpassed 10,000 followers, so what now, bitch? I want to thank you, Anthony, for joining us, and thank you guys for watching. We would be nothing without you.
It's always fun. We like doing this. We have fun. We dick around. I make werewolf masks. We drink beer, and we talk about boobies. So that's what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
But,
could have done it without Anthony, though. We'll be back in the studio on Monday, of course, sans Anthony. But for now, you can head on over to twitch.tv/Destructoid, where Match Tactics starts in around 10 minutes, I believe. And be sure to check out youtube.com/Rev3Tech for all your CES needs.
My God, it's full of awesome videos.
We'll see you guys this weekend. You want some beer?